Well. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Mike. Good to have you here today on the rain, I guess. Is the rain starting today? I can't ever keep track of that. How is everybody doing today? All the risers, welcome. Welcome to the madness. I'm glad you're here. We got interesting stuff from Escambia County. With their county administrator. What? That's kind of interesting. We'll talk about that and much more. We've got your phone calls. We've got, they had a Milton City Council meeting last night. An hour. One singular hour. What? How? Things have changed. Your forecast for today, plenty of sunshine, high near 93. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low near 66. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies and a high near 92. It is 76 in Milton. It is 81 Gulf Breeze, 78 Navarre, and 77 in Pensacola. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're all here. All God's children's. All right. Freaking finally. What does that mean? Oh, the city council? Yeah. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Telephone number calls 800-771-0049. Did I say 800? It's 850-771-0049. I forget where I'm at. Yeah. I'm glad everybody's here. We're all good. It's all good. But we got tons to do. No pronouns today. You guys are doing much better, and I appreciate that. It's all good. All right, let's get to it. Props to the men who work outdoors in the... I saw guys doing roofing. God bless them. God bless the guys doing roofing, because that would be awful in this heat. You are correct. All right. Governor DeSantis will be in Pensacola this afternoon. Oh, expect to make an announcement at the Escambia County Sheriff's Office. Oh, right. We got some news on DeSantis. Not that he's made news, but other people are making news about him, and so we'll talk about that. Pretty interesting. I'm on Earth sometimes, not always. I go to a different place. It's true. It's very true. All right. No. Yeah, Angie's chiming in. She's not sure about where I'm at. Women work in the heat also. We don't see too many of them doing roofing, but they do. They do work in the heat. That wasn't a man that said that. That was a woman that said, it was Mary. Just everybody relax. All right. So impacts are expected this weekend from that. Heavy rain, flash flooding may become possible this weekend as a tropical disturbance moves towards the northern Gulf Coast. This tropical disturbance, currently branded as Invest 92L, is expected to become a tropical storm later in the week as it slowly moves northward across the Western Gulf. It's kind of stalling at the moment. It's kind of hanging out. It's going to be dropping about 5 to 8 inches of rainfall over the next 7 days. Boy. Isolated tornadoes, flash flooding, that's a possibility. So they're not sure the exact track of the storm, but we're on the eastern side of it where it's spinning, and so it would be dumping a bunch of that stuff our way, probably no matter where it lands. So there you go. It could lead to flash flooding. That's a big thing, and just the nonsense of all that. So just be cautious. Big chance of development, but it is going to be one of those things. You deal with it. Everybody breathe, right? It's all going to be okay. Everybody's all right. I'm okay. You're okay. It's just, well, we need to say, excuse me, instead of saying men, outdoor persons. Outdoor persons, laboring persons are, well, you can't even say laboring persons because that would be racist. Or I don't know what that'd be, but it's wrong and the snowflakes will melt. So you have to say outdoor persons. Deputies are investigating after a drive-by shooting in Navarre. Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office said it happened on Blue Jack Drive. One home was hit with bullets, 13. No reports of injuries. They received a call Monday night for a noise complaint in the area. A woman woke up and found bullet holes in her home. Several shell casings are also found on the ground. It's in Navarre. It's uncommon. It is. Corey needs to buy a generator. I looked at one on the internet and just weighing options. Phone rings off the hook. They go, this is so-and-so from, I'm like, who? How did you get my number? Yeah. It's a thing. They do. They call all the time. Put that up there. All right. But how do you've got Navarre. It's Navarre, right? It's not Escambia. It's not Pensacola Beach. It's Navarre. And you got drive-by shootings at houses because people are racist against houses. Must be homeless people that are racist against houses. House privilege, I guess. I don't know. Domicile privilege. But it is concerning. Okay, we're getting into the whole women's rights things. Oh, no privacy anymore. Well, that's about the generator stuff, Colin. Yeah, you're watched everything you do online. You can't just kind of go to a simple search because then all your ads are related to that. It's very frustrating. If I want it, I'll look for it. If I want to talk to you, I'll call you. She's at her daughter's house in Lafayette and heard gunshots at night. She lives in a so-called safe neighborhood. Yeah. Navarre Beach is on par to shatter the existing tourism records, and that's creating public safety need for more lifeguards. The tourism revenues will be used to cover the cost of more lifeguards who also work longer hours. 2 years ago, the county decided to outsource lifeguards via Navarre Beach Fire Rescue. The beach safety chief, Austin Turnbull, on Tuesday addressed the Santa Rosa County Commission during the board's first 21-22 fiscal year workshop. Turnbull told board members that to date in 2021, his department has made 75 rescues. That's more than the previous 2 years combined. To remedy the need for increased public safety, the department plans to double the lifeguards from 5 to 10 working on weekends and increase the shifts to 10-hour days from 8:30 until 6:30. They also plan to increase the pay from $13 to $15 to $16 per hour. Now, you got to do it. You've got to do it. You got to boost up the lifeguards. That's how. I mean, you don't have a choice. However, what about people that go out and swim when there's red flags? What about people who have to be rescued when they're doing something they shouldn't be doing? What about finding them? I don't know. Do they find them to help offset those costs? I don't know. Not just somebody that's out and they, get in distress, but someone who goes out on a red flag day. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What is going on over here? Oh, yeah. I get it. Everybody relax. All right. I hear gunshots all the time, but you live in East Milton. I got you. At least you're not like Justin and have child pornographers there in the area. All right. But the beach, do you find those that are rescued? It's a service. It's like having your car towed. You call the emergency squad, you get charged. Maybe it's an insurance thing. I don't know. But you're doing it on red flag days. It's risky. Tourists do it all the time. I know. And it's not to be mean. It's not to be. But look, it's a red flag day. It's riptides. Stay out of the water. Because you're putting lifeguards at risk. They're at risk. And other people trying to help you are at risk. Just saying. But they're double what they did in the last 2 years already. All right, so this is interesting. We want to talk about the Escambia County administrator. Amalgamated Transit Union issued a vote of no confidence on Tuesday for Escambia County Administrator Janice Gilley. The union leadership represents ECAT. Of the 88% of members who cast ballots, Union President Michael Lowry says all voted no confidence in Gilley. The union outlined some of their concerns in a release. Among them are no labor contract reached between Gilley and the union, no wage increase since 2019, no hazard pay during the pandemic, security concerns. I don't see lying on here. I don't see lying multiple times on here. Anybody? The union supports the removal of Administrator Janice Gilley from the position of County Administrator, as it is an agenda item on June 17th Board of County Commissioners. So they want to release her. That's exactly what I said, Katie. That's exactly what I said. She's not lied to the public that we know of. No, it's just she's not doing what they want her to do. She's not bending to the union's whims. And the county commissioners, they've got it on the agenda to be rid of her. She hasn't lied, as far as we know. I want the county commissioners in Santa Rosa to pay attention. Pay attention. It is it must be a thing of honor to lie to the people of Santa Rosa. Hey, you got some moxie, buddy. Because in Escambia, they're going to try to oust you for something much less. I agree, Roger. I agree. Get their unions out. I know. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But listen, the county has it out for too. The commissioners have it out for too. Yes. The BOCC meeting tomorrow morning. Yes, get him. But you see how this is weird. Now, I want to do some more on Gilly. Let me see, find it. Oh, no. It's not. This is on Pam Childers. Different person. Escambia County Clerk of Court Comptroller Pam Childers is reinterpreting a county contract for a controversial retirement plan for county commissioners and senior level officials that will cut the county's contribution rate by more than 5 times and bring it in line with all other retirement programs. She's not doing anything radical. She's reining in the radical. As the comptroller, I'm going to tell my interpretation of the contract and the retirement rates and what the rate will be July 1st. The county offers a 401k and a 401 annuity program to its highest ranking officials, and the contract calls for contribution rates to be per Florida retirement system, but offers no more details. All that's well and good until you start realizing there are all kinds of rates under the retirement because they have different plans. So what they did, instead of taking one rate, they blended the rates. That doesn't say you could do that, but they just did it. They did blended rates. It's created a situation that makes the county's 401k much more lucrative than anything offered by the Florida retirement system. In a memo to the county commissioners published with the meeting agenda on Monday, Childers notes that in 2011, the retirement system started publishing different rates depending on retirement plan. Generally, it's 2 main plans: a defined benefit plan, which is essentially a pension plan, and a contribution plan, which is similar to the county's own 401 annuity plan. To be able to fund the pension plan, the Florida retirement system mandated that employers contribute what is called blended rate to both plans, though employees only see a small portion of the total amount their employers contribute to the retirement system. So the way it usually works is you contribute, your employer contributes, right? Over the years, the required employer contribution has continued to grow, while what the employee receives has remained relatively flat. The FRS requires the county to contribute 49.18% of an elected official's salary, but the elected official only receives about 8.34% in their retirement account. Childers said that when the rates changed in 2011, the county didn't change its procedure, but continued using the top line rate. It led to what Childers said was a gross overfunding of the county's 401 annuities plan, since the entire 49.18% ended up in the employee's account. So it is grossly overfunded. And she caught it. That's going to make people very unhappy. We're just saying. Instead of drastic correction response, why not try to restructure and reform? Unions exist for a reason. They did at one point. I don't necessarily think they do anymore. It's a power grab anymore. 850-771-0049. But look, if the account is way overfunded, 49%. It's pretty wild. What else? A Pensacola man sentenced to 10 years in state prison for trying to rob another man at a gas station last June. A judge sentenced Michael Rivers, 36, on Tuesday, pleaded no contest to attempted robbery with a deadly weapon. Authorities say that on June 3rd, Rivers approached a man who was using an ATM at a gas station or raceway on North Palafox Street in Pensacola. He pulled out a gun, told the victim to give him the ATM money. The victim was able to get away by telling Rivers he would get money from his car. And Rivers was unable to get in the car, and the driver drove away. Rivers chased the car on foot because that's what you do. And he pointed his gun at the car. Rivers has a prior robbery by sudden snatching conviction. Have you heard that before? He had a prior robbery by sudden snatching conviction. I don't even know what that is. But he's going to 10 years. because he's stupid. Stupid gets you 10 years. I don't think it was the crime. I think it was the stupidity. Just saying. A Leon County Circuit Judge will hear arguments this week, whether he should force the State Department of Transportation to reinstate tolls on the Garcon Point Bridge. Representatives of bondholders want Leon County Circuit Judge John Cooper to order collection of tolls on Garcon Point Bridge. The state has not collected tolls on the bridge since Hurricane Sally in September, after bondholders and Department of Transportation had clashed for years about raising tolls. In a motion filed Thursday, attorneys for UMB Bank, a trustee for bondholders, argued that Pensacola Bay Bridge has reopened to traffic and tolls should be reinstated at Garcon Point Bridge. The tolls are slated to remain suspended throughout at least July 6th. Pensacola Bay Bridge reopened May 28th with 4 lanes of traffic on the majority of the bridge and 2 lanes in one portion, supposed to be corrected and fully open this week. Enough is enough, the motion Thursday said. The department, which never wanted to raise the tolls on the bridge in the first place, has invoked an increasing creative list of excuses to completely and continuously suspend the tolls on the bridge since September 16th, some 265 days and counting. The trustee is improperly deprived of over $20 million. Now, is that normal traffic or is that they diverted traffic? What is the $20 million? I don't know. They've been, sue Skanska. It's their fault. It's Skanska's fault. Don't bother the judge. Just go to Skanska. Blame Skanska. Sue Skanska. That's what you do. Sudden stanching is like purse snatching. Try to swipe someone's phone off the table. It didn't say stanching. It says snatching. I think maybe, did you misspell it? I don't know. Don and I worked several union jobs. The dues never came close to exceeding my increased wages. Full and total control. And see, lost it to the government. Gotcha. Just kind of cut off because it's so long. But what if it, but your union dues, look, what about working a job where you just get paid? And you would get, I'll just tell you a story. And you get paid for what you do. And you get honored for what you do through raises. I had an employee years ago, and her husband worked for Caterpillar. And they were going on strike for a 25-cent raise. Okay? The union made him go on strike for a 25-cent raise, something ridiculous like that. And they were off work for several weeks. And they had to show up a couple days for strike to get strike pay, which is just a fraction of what their pay was. So when it came down to it, the union settled for a dime. 10 cents. The union settled for a dime. And she was so happy. We broke them. We broke the company, and I'm like, well, let's do the math. So he said, you lost this much money because you're on strike pay. And you got a dime for it. Let me show you. You lost money for the year. It doesn't make any sense. Just saying. I wouldn't have a union job. Not. All right. What else? Anything else? Well, who's going to watch Putin and Biden? Should be entertaining. We'll talk about how prepared Biden is in just a moment. Should you be scared? Absolutely. So last night, I got word that the city council meeting in Milton was over by 6:45. Started at 5:45, over at 6:45, and they had a special speaker who spoke for 20 minutes. New record. New record. That's amazing. That's amazing. What is the difference? Anybody? Anybody know what the difference is? The troublemakers are gone. That's the difference. You got people who are interested in doing business for the city. That's the difference. Wow. That is good. Bueno, bravo to Milton City Council. There needs to be a non-government entity to keep checks and balances within the realm of labor. There's laws for that. There's just laws for that. No, I don't. I disagree, Mary. I disagree. If they would stop being political but they hamstring with their dues and all that stuff. They hamstring the employees. Yeah. Zero negativity at the which takes away the entertainment factor, but it does help the meeting. It is a new record. Yep. They set the tone by removing the mayor from the meeting, so they from one meeting. Okay, I don't know. We aren't competing with Matlock anymore. She's got it. All right. Let's go forward. No backwards. We're going forward. Oh my. Women working outside, unions. You guys are killing me today. In other news, Ron DeSantis, Biden is probably 6 fries short of a Happy Meal. His drywall goes further than his studs. That's what I like. On Tuesday afternoon, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene reintroduced the Fire Fauci Act, which would cut Dr. Anthony Fauci's pay to zero and would have the Senate confirm a replacement for him. This comes after revelations that Fauci contradicted himself multiple times in the emails obtained through FOIA, Freedom of Information. Greene pushed the act was first introduced in April in a news press conference on Tuesday afternoon, standing with fellow Republican colleagues in front of a sign stating Fauci lied, people died. The American people have endured terrible things over the past year due to the shutdowns from COVID-19. I'm very proud to sponsor the Fire Fauci Act, and I'm grateful to my colleagues here for co-sponsoring this bill because the American people deserve answers. Let's get rid of Fauci. Let's get rid of the people that lie. Are you paying attention, Schiebler? Let's get rid of the people that lie. We don't need that in government. We don't. But it's there, and Fauci has to go. What else? The logic I'm seeing is comparable. I don't like law enforcement, so let's do away with it altogether. Oh, my. Vaccinated visitors to Disney World and Disneyland will no longer have to wear masks starting Tuesday in most of the areas of the theme parks. Orlando Park will still require face coverings in some places, including on Disney transportation methods such as buses, monorails, and the Skyliner, and a gondola lift system. Guests who are not fully vaccinated will still be required to wear masks in all indoor locations. We're not quite ready to bring back everything yet, but we're optimistic and look forward to a day when Disney pals and princesses, pals, are able to hug once again. You're in a costume. Disney World will also relax some of its protocols on social distancing, expanding capacity in such places such as shops, restaurants, attractions, boarding, transportation, theaters, unless you're not vaccinated. How do we get rid of Fauci? You cut off the funding. Coffee's good this morning. It's good every morning. So, Mary, let me throw this out about unions. Here's another big problem. You don't get a choice whether you join the union. Now, They say you do, you don't. They're thugs. If I don't want to join a union and give you money, I don't have to. That's my privilege, and I should not be molested because of that. What else? I have a solution to Disney demands. Don't go. I am in agreement. I am in agreement. Roger, I didn't see anybody post really anything about the budget workshop. Just, a couple of things about the medical thing out at the, talk about. And I just had a brain cramp. And the lifeguards, but I didn't see anything else posted. Denise, I tend to agree with this. Absolutely, you could choose a non-union job. But if you work for a company and they've got a union, you should be able to have that option not to supply money for that union. Was that video? I don't know, Corey, because it would not show up because it was shared from a person who has private selection. So I could not view that video. So I couldn't see it. All right. But Disney World still requires masks for non-vaccinated people. Keep that in mind. So you can't go. Just say it. You're not allowed. Because you're carrying scurvy. Or COVID. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott said he hasn't heard from Vice President Harris since she was appointed by President Biden 85 days ago. During an interview on Tuesday's episode of the Ruthless podcast, Abbott was asked by co-host Josh Holmes if Harris has even so much as placed a phone call to him regarding the surge of illegal immigrants that the Lone Star State has faced this year. No, so I haven't. The president hasn't called. The vice president hasn't called. The only person I've talked to are some folks in the Department of Homeland Security, and that was a long time ago. There you go. I've lost track, Ty. Oh, the unions wanting out the county administrator in Scambia. That's what it is. Also from Texas, I can't find it. They're having trouble with their power grid again because the heat now, not the cold, it's the heat now. Oh, they're struggling. They are struggling in Texas with that. Oh, you got to see this video. I want you to see this. It's wild. If those of you who are baseball fans or were baseball fans before, the wokeness, but you got to see this pitch. This is absolutely wild. Take a look at your screen. Whoop. What? That is crazy. Let's try that again. Nobody can duplicate that. He's a relief pitcher, Tyler Rogers. He's taking social media by storm with his unique pitching style that leaves batters and viewers stupefied. He's 30 years old. He came in during the sixth inning of Saturday's doubleheader game against the Washington Nationals, but onlookers were perplexed after seeing him strike out Ryan Zimmerman with a rising slider. Here it is again. Check it out. Wild. That is a wild pitch. Pretty crazy. Good for him. Okay, people, everybody relax. Authorities in eastern Kentucky are saying they're reviewing footage of confrontations during a Little League championship game and working to determine if anyone should be prosecuted. The Lexington Herald Leader reported that the game took place on Monday, and video emerged on social media showing adults on the field yelling obscenities at each other. This is a Little League game. I want you to see this. Check it out. It's a Little League game. Exactly. Exactly. It's a Little League game, people. Yeah. Come on. Uh-oh. There we go. Pushing, shoving over a call in a Little League game. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? It's the kids. It's about the kids. And you can't even enjoy a Little League game. The paper reported that the altercation continued on social media after the game. Of course it did. One of the coaches admitted in a Facebook post that he was upset over a bad call, but said he'd never get violent in front of children. No, you just swear and scream and cuss and push people around. The other coach posted that the two should get together in the name of sportsmanship. Too late. Too late. You should have shown sportsmanship on the field. It's too late. Stanton Parks and Recreation appealed to the public for any videos tied to the confrontations. This is a kids' game, man. Everybody relax. It's not unions. Former President Donald Trump announced Tuesday he'll soon make a trip to the southern border at the invitation of Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He took the opportunity to lambaste President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris for refusing to make a trip to the area despite the ongoing migrant crisis he called the wreckage they created. Trump said in a statement that he'll join Abbott on June 30th for an official visit to our nation's decimated southern border, saying the Biden administration inherited from me the strongest, safest, and most secure border in U.S. history, and in mere weeks, they turned it into the single worst border crisis in U.S. history. And he's right. And he's right. I don't know if it was that or people are wound tight. They're wound tight. Guess what? There are female umpires too. Oh, people are wearing me out today. And maybe these female umpires are part of a union. You ever think about that? Take that. This is interesting. Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Christopher Wray testified before Congress he did not know. He testified before Congress. He did not know. Oh, by the way, he's the FBI director. He's the investigation director. Thank you, Cassandra. He did not know about violent plans for the rally on January 6th that turned into rioting. Parler, the social media app, who was deplatformed because of allowing violent rhetoric to flourish ahead of the chaos at the Capitol. The revelation came during congressional testimony about the January 6th rioting that Democrats blame on former President Donald Trump. Democratic Rep. Carolyn Maloney played a video for the House Oversight Committee about the events of January 6th that included alarming number of times Parler contacted the FBI. The threats, I would say, were everywhere, Maloney said. The system was blinking red. Ray was questioned by Maloney about the reports from Parler. He said that he didn't know anything about them. Oh, he knows about you because he's the FBI, but he doesn't know about the emails about the warnings that Parler sent to him regarding potential violence. Thank you, Katie. I would imagine if he testified, he was under oath. He didn't know anything about it. I don't know anything about an email that was sent to me or sent to the FBI. I'm part of the FBI. I'm a director. And Parler sent an email talking about potential riots, but I knew nothing about it. No confidence, you're out. Right? I do not recall hearing about this particular email. This is a Schiebler move. I don't recall the specific, and I don't recall seeing anything about this in the media. I'm not aware of Parler ever trying to contact my office. Maloney said the Capitol Police requested urgently for help from the National Guard 12 times during the rioting, but that army leaders had the National Guard stand down 5 times. The response took far too long. It's almost as if it was planned. It's almost as if this is exactly what they wanted. But that wouldn't be true. That couldn't be true. Could it? There you go. Antifa posted months before January 6th that they were going to disguise themselves as Trump supporters on Facebook. Yes. Yeah, I know. FBI needs to be done. You disband them as the administration, and the agents go into Homeland Security. January 6th was planned, and it wasn't deadly. It was not a deadly riot. January 6th was not a deadly riot. You had 5 people that died, 2 from strokes, 1 from a heart attack. 1 was a drug overdose, and the other one was shot by Capitol Hill police. I know. You're right. All right, so there's this. The Vatican, because they are, the Vatican, they have publicly rebuked conservative American bishops over doing the job that the Vatican placed them there to do. They're following the guidelines. So now the Vatican has publicly rebuked conservative American bishops over their efforts to deny communion to President Joe Biden and other prominent supporters of abortion. So if you support abortion and you're Catholic, you still receive communion. Now we're going to talk about communion. In a sermon this month, Pope Francis preached that communion is not the reward of the saints, but the bread of the sinners. No. You're wrong. The Pope is wrong. Communion is communing with God. If you look in the Old Testament, the people before they met with God, and even the New Testament, you are to seek repentance. Make sure that there's nothing between you and God. And I think abortion comes between you and God. You are no longer able to take communion. These bishops are right. The Pope is wrong. He's wrong. What's going on about a video showing several groups planning to take down DC? Yeah, I know. The Book of Faces, right? The Book of Faces. But you've got it. The body and blood of Christ symbolically. But you need to have a clean heart. You need to be able to commune with God. That's what it is. He's meeting with you. That's what this is. And if you've not purified your heart, which means abortion means your heart is polluted. If you don't hold life sacred the way God holds life sacred, you are polluted. And you cannot take communion. That's not me. That's the Bible. You want to argue with God. But that's true. In a letter, Ladaria complicated the bishop's plans by questioning their identification of abortion as the preeminent moral issue and pushing for an impossible unanimous vote on the matter. Anything less, he cautioned, could make the administration of the church holiest sacrament a source of discord rather than unity. Though the letter may sound light and genial to unrestrained ears, those familiar with the matter assert that the letter lays bare an unusual sense of tension. And so it's more about we need to get along, rather than doing what's right. So the Catholic Church, yet again, opts for the politically expedient thing rather than the correct thing. Love it? Do you love it? Looking to win back the House in the midterm elections, the National Republican Congressional Committee announced their third straight record-breaking fundraising month. The House Republican campaign arm announced they raised over $14 million in the month of May as the committee is looking to regain the House by picking up at least 5 seats needed to be in the majority. The committee is touting their fundraising abilities, say they have over $42.1 million cash on hand, which they claim is more than double what the committee had at the same time in the cycle, in the last cycle. They are currently debt-free. The National Republican Committee Chairman Rep. Tom Emmer said in a statement, Americans are ready to do whatever's necessary to stop Nancy Pelosi and House Democrats' socialist agenda. Although they have another year and a half before it's done. A year and a half. How much damage can be done in a year and a half? Look what's been done in 6 months. Look at the damage that they've done in 6 months. A year and a half. Emmer May's record-breaking fundraising numbers are just the latest indication that they're ready to take back the majority. Are you scared? You should be. Speaking on the One NYCHA podcast, Senator Chucky Schumer referred to mentally disabled children as retarded. Check this out.
This initiative actually will house the homeless population that is actually living on our streets. We see them every day.
Yes.
We're about to house them, and they're against it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, I have found that my whole career.
Listen,
I wanted to build when I first was assemblyman. Mm-hmm. They wanted to build a congregate living place for retarded children.
Mm-hmm. What? This woman doesn't react. Nobody reacts. You will not see this anywhere. He's on a facility for retarded children. Now, the reason I bring this up is if a Republican had said this, they would have exploded. The media and the left would have exploded. But because it's a Democrat and it's Chuck Schumer, it goes. It just gets to go. He called mentally disabled children retarded. He used the R word. And that's Chuck Schumer. And that's the left. Double standard. They have a double standard. Because you will not see this in the media. You will not see this anywhere else. He called mentally disabled children retarded. But if this was a Republican, they would call for a public lynching. I'm sick of the double standard as well. It is absolutely over the top. That's Chucky. That's Chucky. 850-771-0049. I'm going to come back to that one. U.S. consumers' expectations for inflation over the medium term rose to an 8-year high in May. The median survey respondent anticipated an inflation of 3.6% in 3 years, up from 3.1%. The reading marked the highest level since August 2013, while short-term expectations over 1 year reached a record. Guess what, everybody? Inflation's here. And to prove the point, Greg Duell, the owner of Duff's Famous Wings in upstate New York, told Cavuto Coast to Coast on Monday that wing costs have increased by about 99%. The horror. Oh, the horror. Chicken wings. There is a spike in prices, shortage in labor at chicken farms. The chicken wings. The owner of Duff's in Eastern Hills Mall in Buffalo also noted that fryer oil is a huge problem. That has increased by more than 120%. Going to be bad. Going to be bad. Ty, I agree. It was. Right. But they are the ones. I'm telling you what, if Chuck Schumer would have been right out front, if someone would have used that term, he would have been the one that was screaming for blood. He would have been the one. Chicken wings. You won't be able to get chicken wings. President Joe Biden's administration announced their plans to create ways for Americans to report radicalized friends and family to the government in an effort to fight domestic terrorism. In a conversation with reporters, one senior administration official explained the importance of stopping politically fueled violence before it started. We'll work to improve public awareness of federal resources to address concerning or threatening behavior before violence occurs, the official said. The Department of Homeland Security says, if you see something, say something campaign helps stop radical Islamic terror as a domestic possibility. This involves creating contexts in which those who are family members or friends or co-workers know that there are pathways and avenues to raise concerns and seek help for those they have perceived to be radicalizing and potentially radicalizing towards violence, the official said. So they can turn you in. Just for speaking. Just for speaking. I want to show you this. This is interesting. Now, I'm going to stop it at a point because you'll be able to see it. All right? Yeah, ask Grandpa about political violence. You're correct. All right, here you go. This is Joe Biden. He has note cards in his hand. It's stuff to kind of help him remember because he doesn't remember because he's out of his mind. Now, what he doesn't realize is that the camera is on the cards. I want you to watch this as he fumbles through the cards.
Joe Biden fiddles with a flashcard of anti-Trump talking points during a press conference in England. Biden brandishing the card labeled DOJ talking points while speaking Sunday in Cornwall.
All right, so take a look at the card. I'm going to get rid of this so you can see it really good. DOJ talking points. Trump abused power. Trump DOJ out of control. Now we have to clean it up. I've made it clear. This DOJ will reflect my values and principles and priorities, not Donald Trump's. So he has to be told what he believes. Joe Biden has to be told what he believes. And he has to have a pre-written list of canned answers because he's not able to speak off the cuff because he's a joke. The president, DOJ talking points. He can't handle just talking. And it's all about bashing Trump. Is it sad, Donna? Donna says it's sad, so sad. Or is it criminal? Biden's a puppet. Let's continue with the story.
Include a number of pre-planned answers. That's including a claim that Trump, quote, abused power and that his Justice Department was out of control. This is the DOJ Inspector General has recently opened a review into the Trump-era seizure of some House Democrats and staff data during a 2018 investigation into leaks about the Russia probe.
So because Trump called for and wanted to investigate where the leaks were coming from, there were leaks. We know there were leaks. And he had to do it that way because there were leaks about the leaks. And so they're upset that he was doing a probe. Yeah, I don't know. How disabled and seniors that won't get the vaccine will survive once they make it mandatory. You won't be able to buy and sell save you have the mark. I'm sorry. They will withhold his medication. They won't give him his afternoon applesauce. They won't. His cup of pudding is gone if he doesn't cooperate. He is an international embarrassment. He is. 850-771-0049. Oh my gosh. Is that not frightening stuff? The worst. All right. There's growing evidence that Nickelodeon's hard push to promote the LGBTQ agenda to children is having a negative impact on the network's ratings. They're tanking. In the last 2 weeks, both Nickelodeon and its preschool targeted network, Nick Jr., have released videos championing trans, queer, and pansexual inclusion. One video that sparked mass outrage depicted a cartoon version of drag queen Nina. I played this for you on Blue's Clues and You, a show for 2 to 5-year-olds. That same video showed a female-to-male transgender beaver who appeared to have post-operative surgical scars on its chest, trying to normalize it for 2 to 5-year-olds. And parents have had enough, and they're shutting it off. This is too freaky tiki for anybody. Let's get control of this. And I think it's going to be a lot like the taking a knee thing. The LGBTQ Pride Month and the taking a knee thing has gotten out of control, and people had enough, and they're turning them off. Sports, kids' cartoons, anything that goes woke, people are shutting it off. And they're done. They're done. Oh, sorry you lost the live feed, Denise. God bless you. So, yeah. Is this an issue? Yeah. It is an issue. Indoctrinating your children. Holy mackerel. On a side note, Fox News, Tucker Carlson beat CNN. Well, Fox News beat CNN by 3 times viewership. CNN had less than 750,000 viewers. MSNBC didn't do much better. But Fox beat CNN by 3 times. Tucker Carlson is rocking it. Tucker Carlson is owning them. They want to say bad things about him, but nobody's watching them. You have less than 750,000 viewers. How can CNN continue? How can they continue down this path? You can't. You cannot. A lot needs to be turned off. MSM. Tired of brainwashing. Yeah. Agenda 2030. We'll have to take a look at that. Send me a text on that or a message on that so I'll remember that. And that link for the video. Please send that to me on a message, please. But yeah, we're done. We're tired of the slant. Not that Fox News is not slanted, but at least it doesn't insult your intelligence all the time. I think that Tucker Carlson gives a very balanced view of things, meaning he blasts Republicans as well. He calls them out as well, as he should. All right, kids, we got to get out of here on this Wednesday. It's hump day. You enjoy the day. Be watching the disturbance in the Gulf. Be watching the disturbance in D.C. Be looking out for more cards from Joe Biden. And watch out for the unions. They're after you. All right. God bless. Hope you have a great, fantastic day. Thank you to the women working out in the heat. The birthing persons working in the heat.